Thinking about moving to Tiburon and you want to know more about it? Well, in this video, I am going to show you the pros and the cons of living in Tiburon. I've lived here 25 years and I'm super happy to share this. So let's get to it. If you're new to my channel and you want to know more about Tiburon or Marin in general, please click the subscribe button below and also the notification bell, and you'll be first to know when I drop a new video, which is at least every week. Stay tuned to the end of this video for some helpful information about Tiburon regarding some of the activities that we have in Tiburon. Now, without further ado, pro number one. Pro number one has to be living by the water. Not only are you getting the negative ions, but almost everybody has a water view in Tiburon. Okay, there's some places that don't have a view. But if you don't have a view, you can probably walk out your door and walk around a couple of corners and then you're going to have a view of the water. There's just water everywhere here. I know that humans are naturally attracted to being by water. It's probably not only the health benefits, but the sheer beauty and how it makes us feel inside. So it's a really big deal that Tiburon is surrounded by so much of the bay. In fact, I'm sure there's nowhere else in Marin County that has as much water around it. Pro number two, it's relatively safe. Now I say relatively because yes, a few things happen here, but you'd be surprised at the nature of crime in Tiburon. There is a local newspaper that prints the police and the fire logs, and people laugh about it all the time. You see a lot of things like a bike got stolen or somebody had some kind of a squabble with a spouse. There's not a lot of serious crimes that happen in Tiburon. One of the reasons might be that we have basically just two ways in and out of Tiburon. We call it like the front side of Tiburon and the back side of Tiburon. So the front side faces San Francisco, and there's only one way to get to the front side, and that street loops all the way around Tiburon and goes out the back side, or the part that faces away from San Francisco. Anyway, with the camera stationed at the beginning of going down the front side and at the end of going down the back side, there's only two ways in and out of Tiburon. Additionally, police here have reached out to people who live here, and when you have some kind of surveillance cameras on your property, you can register them with the police, and then they know to come to you if a crime happens near you. Now, I've never been called for any crime ever, and it's a rare time that I hear of anything happening in Tiburon. We all feel pretty safe here. And why shouldn't we? We do have our own police department, and the police department does patrol Tiburon. The third pro of living in Tiburon is that it's a great place for kids. Not only do we have award-winning schools, but there are local clubs like the Tiburon Soccer Club and the Tiburon Little League Club, and then there are tennis clubs as well that families belong to, and kids learn how to play tennis and become really good players there. Also, kids in Tiburon enjoy that we have like Halloween neighborhoods. There's certain places that everybody goes to because the houses are closer together and the land is flatter, and they like to do their trick-or-treating there. I happen to live in one of those communities right now, Paradise Cay, and it is great fun for the hundreds of kids that pass through. Additionally, kids love to do things and all that nature provides here. Speaking of that, what nature provides here, there is pro number four. Pro number four is really about all the land that we have here. There is a 15-acre preserve in Tiburon that people hike on, walk on, ride bikes on. There's even rock climbing up there. People call it Ring Mountain here. And my kids and I have spent a lot of time up on Ring Mountain. So basically, with all the water sports and all the outdoor space, there's just so much to do in Tiburon. It's a pretty healthy place to be. Additionally, there's a long walk along the front side of Tiburon that people, again, they walk and they bike ride. Some people jog on it. We go down there with our dogs and walk all the way into downtown Tiburon to have breakfast or lunch or whatever, and then we walk back. Okay, so there are some cons to Tiburon. Probably the first one would be that it can be kind of cold, on the cooler side, I should say. Even in the middle of the summer when other parts of Marin get really hot, Tiburon is usually cool. You might think of it as being like San Francisco weather. And if you've spent any time in San Francisco, you'd know there can be warm days there as well. There's a lot of sunshine here. But you might be surprised to find that in the middle of the summer, you might have 60-degree days, although the sun always keeps you warm. And it does depend on how close you are to the water. If you're right on the water, it's going to be a lot cooler than if you're even just a block away from the water. Or strangely enough, like my house, where it's cool on the side with the water and so much warmer in the front yard, you just can't believe it. Kind of a microclimate right here. So the second con is it's expensive. In fact, the total cost of housing, food, childcare, transportation, health, taxes, and other necessities, they say is about $75,000 a year, with a national figure of about $38,000 and an average California figure of about $45,000. You can see that Tiburon's a pretty expensive place to live. And then, of course, it's not just those costs. Housing is fairly expensive in Tiburon. You can find properties under $1 million, but there's a lot of property, $3 million range, and then a lot from 3 to 5. And then you have some that go all the way beyond $10 million. The median home cost to live in Tiburon is about $2 million, and that's quite a bit higher than the median home cost in the United States. That's more like $200,000. Interesting though, a lot of the rents in Tiburon are not even as expensive as other places in Marin County that don't have the sheer beauty of Tiburon. I hope you've learned something about Tiburon, and if you'd like the guide to all those trails up on Ring Mountain, comment below and just ask for the trail guide, and I'll make sure you get that. And if you're thinking about moving to Marin in 12 days or 12 months, I love helping people have a smart, safe move. So just text or call me. My contact information is in the show more below.